Time for your assist of the night presented by State Farm. Draymond Green had a dozen assists on the evening. We like that one best.
That was the one you liked the best?
Well, that's the one we picked.
What about the one we had the dunk that he found for Bell?
There are no substitutions for assist of the night, Brendan.
Who's doing it? Damon. Our producer, Damon, who picked this clip? Draymond had a better assist than that.
No substitutions. That was the assist of the night.
How about when he came back in from out of bounds and the ball came right back to him again? That was another beautiful assist.
Hey, Coach, we got to do everything. We got to give our insight on the show. We got to help cut the clips and do everything.
They didn't ask us
His best assist. They didn't.
Here's another assist.
Watch, this one
which
I
is
thought
also
was
nice.
He passes, goes out of bounds, he comes in and gets it right back again.
But he scores on that.
Yeah, he scored.
Now, this is that's
It's assist for the other guy.
It's true.
Look at that.
But Draymond had the triple-double.
Where's the one where Bell got the two-hand dunk going down the lane? That's the best one.
Draymond had the triple-double, and the folks upstairs wanted to give him the assist of the night because, you know, that's...
They picked the wrong assist. Our producer, Damian, I'm disappointed in your choice of assist, Damian. I expect better from you.
Do you want me to hold my thought still? Or?
No, please. Honestly, I don't remember what I asked you, but you were holding a thought for a very long time. You were very patient about that thought.
It was after... Brendan was pontificating. I thought that maybe I would ask, do you think that right now there's a certain team sitting home that's watching Portland saying, we have way more weapons to attack than this Portland team did that wound up beating that certain team?
Of the Denver Nuggets?
That city, yeah. Would there have been better representation if Denver would have made it to this round?
I'm not sure if it would have been better representation, but it would have been a different series. You can't play this same type of defense against Denver because of how they move the ball. They move ball, man, bodies. The Joker gets it done at the three-point line in the post, and he's a great passer from the high post. So this strategy wouldn't have worked against the Denver Nuggets, but who's to say that it wouldn't still be the same result? So we can't. We really don't know. We really don't know. But Denver had a great year. You know, shout out to Mike Malone, Tim Connolly. They both did a great job. But
I agree with your point about the playmaking, though. That just hasn't been there for the Blazers in this series. Let's get you back to Portland.
I think we've given a lot of attention to, you know, their two main guys, you know, the guys who shoot the ball the best, and that's Steph and Klay. So, you know, when we do our switching and have our bigs up at the level, you know, at the three-point line, they throw it to him, and he's, you know, making the right play. Sometimes he's getting downhill, laying it up. He's drawing fouls. He's throwing lobs, making the late pass to the big, finding the weak side. I mean, once he gets the ball in his hands, he's doing, you know, everything that you would want that guy in the middle to do. And then, I mean, even in the first half, he was just pushing it up the court, you know, inbounding it quick. You know, the game was going our way, and he was just pushing it quick, drawing fouls, and, you know, trying to get to the rim. So, I mean, he's been huge for him.
Jamal Corner, Reuters. Dame, the Warriors have consistently blitzed, and you've consistently made the correct plays. Is there a point where you kind of have to push it and force it a bit, or do you have to continue making the correct play?
I think what they want me to do is make the correct play. And for me, I try to do that for as long as possible. You know, as long as I can do it and we can stay in the game or have a lead like we have the last two games when I'm just making the right plays, you know, and guys are doing what they're supposed to do on the weak side. But I think in Golden State's minds, they know at some point if we're going to beat them, I'm going to have to be rolling. And, you know, they just kind of banking on the fact that, you know, we'll just live with what's happening right now, keep getting the ball out of his hands, and, you know, at some point we'll probably be able to take over the game. And tonight I was making the right play just like game two, and we had the lead for a lot of the game. Third quarter they had, you know, another one of their quarters, and I mean, I tried to get aggressive. You know, I tried to force the action. Both guys stand with me, and then Draymond is lurking behind them. So it's, you know, you up against a wall of defense. You know, sometimes it's three defenders. So it's tough because you're not going to always get a quality look. And then when you do get a quality look and don't make it, you know, that kind of just makes it worse.
On the left here, third row.
Dwight James, NBC Sports Northwest. Dame, how tired are you?
I mean, everybody's tired. And it's the third round of the playoffs after a long season. in our last season, I got a lot of attention. You know, the team was giving me a lot of attention, and same thing in this series. So, I mean, it takes a lot, you know, to deal with that and then go out there and chase guys around on the defensive end. So, I mean, but everybody's putting that effort out. I mean, I feel fine enough to go out there and play 40 minutes like I have been, but, you know, it's definitely tiring.
All the way in the back, please.
Dame, Andrew Hobner, KZI TV. It seems pretty well known at this point about the Warriors that they do go on these big third quarter runs, as happened in Game 2. Is this something that you have to prepare for as a player? Does it affect mentality at all, knowing that the Warriors do this and do it with consistency, run it up the third?
I don't think it affects your mentality. I think it's just something that, and it's also not something you should expect from him. I think we're just constantly reminding each other what not to give up. So, you know, maybe we don't give up one of those runs, but a huge part of it is just staying together, you know, keeping your mind right and not panicking when they do have a run. I thought in Game 2, they went on one of those runs and we went into the fourth tied up, and then we was able to build back on the lead in the fourth, and down the stretch, we just kind of let the game slip away. And tonight, they went on another one of those runs, and I thought we were in the game. But, you know, when you give up that run and you don't control the game well enough, it can easily get away from you. You know, and they had some possessions where we had some miscommunication on some switches, left a few guys open, and they hurt you in those situations.
Damian, Tom Ward, Coin TV. In your estimation, does this team have enough gas in the tank to get a win Monday and then make this a series again?
I mean, it starts with one. You know, we still got another game on our home floor, and that's a solid start for us. And, you know, we can't look at, I guess, Game 5 or Game 6 or any of that. We just got to get one. And we're confident that we can do that. And then once we do that, we build from there.
All the way in the back.
USA, Draymond Green was pushing the ball hard every time he could. What could you do better in transition defense for the next game?
I think just understanding that after he does it one or two times, you got to recognize the trend. You know, I thought tonight, especially in the first half, we just kept being surprised by it. And the game was going in our favor, so I don't think you pay as much attention to it when, you know, you're up 6, 7, 8, you know, whatever we were up in the first half, sometimes even double digits. You don't see it as much of a problem as it is. But I think because he was able to keep getting it out quick, pushing it at us, drawing fouls, getting to the rim, that just got him in a good rhythm, you know, got his confidence up really high. So in the second half, when other guys started to make shots and they got back into the game, it really hurt us, all because of how we allowed him to get in that type of rhythm and comfort in the first half.
Questions for Bam? All right. Thank you.
Damian Lillard pretty matter-of-factly describing the situation that his team is now in, and I feel like you're still standing by with your thought.
No,
Okay.
You got it out. You got it out.
So I want to get your thoughts on the way he described what he has seen defensively when 2 and 3 bodies and Draymond Green lurking, as he put it, and what he can do about it.
I think he simplified it very well by just basically saying, they're sending extra bodies at me. When I do the right thing, which means don't force it against double teams and triple teams, make the right play. When I do that and my teammates respond by doing what I'm asking them to do, which you make an open shot, catch it, lay it up and in, we've been up. We've gone these 15-point lead things. But when they stop doing that, and if I stop playing the right way, we're not successful. However, having said all that, he did say, I may have to become more dominant and not play the right way and go for 40 points to get us a win.
And that's dangerous too, right?
That's dangerous because this hasn't been a situation where he's just been passive and it's been okay and he can just turn it on. The defense is why he's been struggling. Dame is what, 5 for 20 from inside the three-point line in this series. He is struggling when he tries to beat these traps and when he tries to split them and score. Look right here. Dame splits the trap. Okay, he gets down the lane, but look at all the bodies. There's nowhere to shoot right there. Tries to make a pass, ends up turning over. Goes to the basket right here. Excellent defense. Everybody's looking at him. Block shot. Now you get Dame dancing. This is what he does well. Step back, tries to draw a foul. Excellent defense by Klay Thompson. Klay has guarded him great all series. Now here's a good switch to touch. Jordan Bell doing an excellent job running Dame right into the help. Those are tough shots, and Jordan Bell's a great athlete. Makes it hard for Dame to get a shot over him. Dame going to the basket again. Golden State recovers as a team. You're seeing 2 and 3 and 4 bodies being thrown at Dame in the paint every time he drives the ball to the basket. I'm not sure how much differently he can play the game. I think this is going to be more of a problem for the Portland front office. This is the second year in a row the exact same strategy has knocked you out. This is the exact same thing the Pelicans did. They're going to have to upgrade their forwards. Aminu, Harkless. It's very tough to win in a playoff series when you have 2 forwards that aren't really known as shooters. Because what your shooters do and what your role players do is they give your stars space to be stars. So if you have a Kyle Korver over there, they're not running this defense. If you have somebody that they respect in the corner, they're not running this defense. So I think Portland's front office is going to have to try to upgrade those forwards or at least get some type of forward that can make plays and feel comfortable in the middle of the floor. That is what has to happen this offseason, or else they're going to see this exact same strategy in the playoffs next year.
Why don't you give me the numbers for Harkless and Aminu that they have from behind the three-point line?
Well, Harkless
I know you have it down.
Yeah, well, Harkless has been 3 for 7, but Aminu has been 1 for 5 this series from the three-point line.
Those aren't very many threes either. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green at the podium.
Steve Kerr called Draymond a wrecking ball tonight. See, he was right. How would you quantify? How would you quantify and describe what he brought to the game tonight with the ball in his hands in transition?
I mean, his stat line's ridiculous. 4 steals. I mean, doing it on both ends, plus 16. But it's nothing new. I've seen him do it for 7 years. Just filling out the box score, and he's like a secondary point guard out there, and he relieves so much pressure from me and Steph, being able to play off the ball, and his ability to make plays out of the pick and roll is probably the best ever. So he makes us go, and especially when he pushes that pace. So I'm proud of Dre, and I know he's not satisfied.
Kevin not on the floor, more is needed from you as an initiator and a playmaker. How does that, having the ball in your hands, lead to the kind of thing we saw out there tonight?
Well, I think for me, when Kevin's not on the floor, I know I have to be more aggressive. And so whether that's attacking the basket, putting more pressure on defense, I understand that. And I think it's very easy to just try to get these guys to make more and more shots when Kevin's not on the floor. But, it can't put that much pressure on them. So I just try to take it upon myself to really push the pace, get the tempo to where we want it, and then still, try to make plays for other guys as well.
Hey, Draymond. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press, Democrat. It seems like there's been a few times lately when things have slowed down or got a little static for the team, and you've been the one that's pushed the pace, get the rebounds out, get in transition. And I'm wondering, how important is pace to you for this team, and what is it that makes you sense when it's time to start driving that?
Well, I think, when you're playing against a set defense every time, it's tough. And so, for me, even when it's not necessarily to push it to score every time. It's just to kind of get the pace where we want it, to get the defense on their heels, and then to allow him and Steph to do what they do. But you can kind of feel, when our offense is kind of getting a little bogged down, or, another team is starting to make a run. I like to push it more when they're starting to make their run, because then the guy starts to get excited, they hit a shot, and they relax, and you just push it back. And I think that helps change the momentum. Our coaching staff and all my teammates have been preaching to me this whole series about just getting the ball and pushing it, getting it and pushing it. And so I just tried to, bring that to the game, and tonight it was successful for us.
John Dickinson, 95.7 The Game. Draymond, after Jordan missed that dunk, that could have been a turning point or a momentum changer. Coach Kerr stuck with him. You had some words for him. Just what did you have to say to Jordan, and how key was it for Steve to stick with him in that moment?
I think it was very big for Steve to stick with him. You know, he had been playing great, and he missed the dunk. And, you know, just like I told him, Clay's missed shots tonight. I've missed them, and Steph as well. Just because you missed the dunk, still missed the shot. You know, James Laughlin, our video coordinator, he came up to me right before this series started, and he said, hey, he said, you've helped me a lot in growing since I've been here. And this series, we're going to need our bench a lot, and it's important that you stick with them and continue to get them confidence. And so for a second, I caught myself like, man, you know, we could have cut that to 6, and like and then we fouled him. And I was just like, you know, it just came upon me to stick with him, give him some confidence. And sure enough, you know, he had a dunk the next play, and he had a block. And so, you know, I think that was an important moment. And it's, you know, we always talk about the strength in numbers. That's coming from a video coordinator. You usually don't get that from a video coordinator, but it paid dividends for us tonight.
Jamal Corner, Reuters. Wanted to ask both of you guys two-part. Number one, the degree of difficulty of these wins the last 5 games. How much more satisfying does that make things? And then Draymond in the third quarter, after you guys made that run to go up by 1, I saw you had a short conversation with Seth, whom I'm sure you know very well. Just curious if you could share the nature of that conversation.
Want to answer the first part, G?
Sure. I mean, every win in the playoffs is extremely hard. Our record might be great the last 4 or 5 years, but it's really hard. And these, you know, the game, like Draymond said, gets bogged down. It gets way more physical. And we just are grateful to be here, and we don't try to take any games off at this point in the year because we know one slip up can cost you a series. And just because we're up 3-0, the mission's far from finished. We still got 48 more minutes of basketball to play and get to a 5th straight finals, which just gets me excited thinking about it.
And Steph just came to me and he asked me how I was feeling. You know, he said, when will you be ready to go back in? I said, well, give me a couple minutes and I'll be ready to go. And so then I saw him go back and talk to Steve, and I was expecting to probably go back in at like the 10-minute mark, and then our bench picked it up. And, you know, they took the lead from, what was it, 1 point or 2 points to 8. And, you know, when that was a huge moment in the game, because I'm not going to lie, after that third quarter, I was a little gassed. And, you know, those extra couple minutes, you know, of sitting there, you know, it really paid dividends to close out that fourth quarter for us. So the bench was huge tonight, and that's what that moment was about.
All the way in the back,
This one's for Draymond. Andrew Hodner from KZI 9 News. Jordan said that in the first half when everything was kind of sputtering, you know, you were the one that kind of put him on their back and everybody followed your lead, especially for a guy like Jordan, who, you know, you picked him up after the dunk. Where do you see your role as someone when things aren't going well to just kind of say, you know what, I'm going to put you all on my back and get you into a mentality to win this game?
I wasn't necessarily a put them on my back type of mindset, more so than just let's try to get something going into the half. And you know, as far as, I mean, obviously, you know, I am one of the leaders of this team. In those situations, you either go one or two ways. You're either going to do your job and lift everybody up, or you're going to go the opposite way. You know, my teammates always tell me, like, we follow your body language. And so in that moment, I just wanted to make sure my body language stayed positive, because I know no matter what, if we down 20 points at half, we can still win that game. And so we went in the half down 13 after I thought they had played an amazing half. And we said at halftime, 13 points is a 2-minute stretch for us if we lock in. And so I just wanted to try to get a little momentum going into the half. And, you know, we was able to do that. And then we came out swinging in the third quarter and changed the game.
In the back still?
Mike Richmond, NBC Sports Northwest. Draymond, with all the defensive pressure you guys have put on Dame, do you get a sense he's fatigued or tired?
I don't necessarily think he's fatigued. I think, you know, we're just throwing multiple bodies at him. You know, they've had an incredible run thus far. You know, they went 7 last series. They had OKC the first series, who was a tough team to play against. And so, you know, we just want to try to wear guys down over the course of 48 minutes. It's not necessarily that he's going to start the game gas, But if you can just wear them down over the course of 48 minutes, that makes those shots as the game go on a little bit tougher. And so, that's been our plan, and we've done a pretty good job. But like Clay said, we got one more game to win, and we know Dame can get hot and change the entire series. So we just got to stay locked in because we know he's more than capable.
In the middle, please, in the back.
Mindy Bach, ABC 7 Sports. First to Clay and then to Draymond. We know that Draymond's always been the heartbeat of this team. That's what you guys have said. He brings the energy, he brings the emotion, but just his ability to also anticipate and vision and see ahead. How much have you seen him just improve over the past year or two and what he's able to do on the court in that? And follow up for you, Draymond. Could you have done what you're doing right now just a stretcher, and you think last year in the playoffs or the year before, or is it just a culmination now, just being with this group for so long?
Well, I think he has the most triple-doubles in Warrior history, especially in the postseason. So I don't think he's really improved. I just think he's been doing what he's been doing since he was at Michigan State, just being an all-around player. And see him continue to do this for hopefully another 10 years. But, yeah, I'm just proud of him and everybody else on this team, man, especially the bench. The bench, incredible, especially, and everyone's saying it's thin this year and all this, but they come to work every day. And, they follow our leaders, and it's a strength in numbers thing.
I hope I was capable of doing it last year, but I feel great, and just trying to bring whatever I got to bring to the table to help this team win, to help DeMarcus and Kevin get back out there on the floor, and that's my main objective, just to win as many games as we possibly can right now to get those guys back. When we have Steph, Clay, KD, DeMarcus, I don't need to play like that. And as crazy as it sounds, like somebody have to give up some when you have that many guys who are capable of doing what they're doing. I take it up on myself to be the guy to give that up, I think I'm playing great right now, but I'm not the scorer that neither one of those four guys are. And so, I can take the mindset of, so what, who's out here? I'm going to go score the ball. I think that's very stupid, in my opinion, because, if I'm wide open and Clay's half open, I think it's still a better shot if I get a ball to Clay. So that's just my mindset when we got all our guys on the floor. But when they're not, I have to have a different mindset and step up for the team, as everyone has stepped up their game a notch.
Third row on the right.
Draymond, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Steve pointed out that at this point, you're not letting anything bother you. Turnovers, missed shots, and especially the officiating. Are you aware that you're not dealing with the officiating, and do you think that helps the team when you're able to avoid those kind of confrontations?
I think so. I think it definitely helps the energy of guys. I still like to pick and choose my spots, and sometimes I may take a tech, and, but that's more mindful than just getting a tech. Like sometimes I know, like, all right, we need an energy burst. Maybe I'll take one. But sometimes I'm not mindful and I'll get a tech, and then that just kind of kill the energy of our team. And so, I've really been focused and locked in on that. And, I realized I had got to a point to where I was doing more crying than playing. And I'm sure it was disgusting to watch because I felt disgusting playing that way. And I just wanted to, lock back in on the game. I understand that, officials aren't perfect. And, I still have conversations with them now, when they miss a call, but it's a completely different conversation. And, my mom has been really big. My fiance has been really big on just kind of talking to me about that and telling me, to stay locked in on the game. And I also have some little ones at the house that's enjoying watching me play. I don't necessarily want them to see that, so just try to be more mindful of it.
Last question from Brett on the left.
Dieter Kurtenbach, Bay Area News Group, for either one of you guys. This organization has been proactive regarding rest in the regular season. Are you guys feeling the positive effects of load management at this juncture?
I think so. Like you said, Steve and our entire organization has been on board of, making sure guys get as much rest as you possibly can through a rigorous season. It's a rigorous schedule. And especially right now with Kevin out, those rest days back during the year, they make a difference for us. So, that's been good, and sometimes it may cost you a game or two during the regular season, but it's more important to be healthy at this time of year, understanding that we're trying to play into mid-June every year. It's good to be healthy, so I think it's making a difference for us.
Dre and Clay. Next up, C.J. McCollum facing an 0-3 hold. Talk about Game 3 and tough loss tonight in Portland next.
He's trying.